Thanks, Anderson. And I want to bring in now New Hampshire State Representative Mike Moffett, who is supporting Nikki Haley in this race, like some of the voters that we have heard from today. Thank you so much for being here, Representative. How well do you think Nikki Haley needs to do tonight?
Well, thank you, Caitlin. I think she needs to come close. We'd like to see her within single digits. I have a good feeling. I think that can happen. It's all about expectations, and I think if she is less than 10% out, it's a win for her. And of course, we'd like to see her win, and I want to think that's possible too.
And you've been really candid in your views of this race and what you believe should happen here. And you know, we've seen in poll after poll that voters don't want a Trump-Biden rematch. But if Republicans do pick Donald Trump tonight, and maybe he's the de facto nominee, depending on what the numbers look like, when there is an alternative in this race, what do you think that says about the state of your party right now?
Well, I wish that our party had better choices than the current, not incumbent, but the current president. I think Nikki is a wonderful alternative. She would beat Joe Biden by, some say, up to 17%, depending upon the polls. I think that we need younger candidates. I think, obviously, Nikki is much younger, and candidates without baggage. I'll just say that before the 1988 New Hampshire primary, Joe Biden dropped out of the primary way back then because of plagiarism. And now we have a Republican frontrunner who has multiple impeachments. He has multiple 91 indictments, all kinds of baggage. I was in the Marine Corps, and I want to look up to my leaders. And the bar is pretty darn low with a president like Donald Trump with all his baggage as a frontrunner. So I am all in for Nikki. I voted for Trump twice, but I and many others, for those reasons, are all in for Nikki.
Yeah, you've talked about moments in Trump's presidency a lot, including January 6th. I know that you said that was a sad, dark day for America. I mean, would you be concerned that the potential Republican nominee could be someone who refers to those criminal defendants as hostages?
That concerns me. They're not hostages. They're criminals. They broke into our beloved Capitol, created mayhem. They had no business being there. They deserve to be arrested. Hostages, a terrible term for those people who did what they did on January 6th.
Given that, Nikki Haley is the last person standing in this race against Donald Trump. Every other person who has dropped out in recent days, with the exception of Chris Christie, including Governor DeSantis and Senator Tim Scott, Vivek Ramaswamy, not necessarily a surprise, Doug Burgum, they've gotten in line and endorsed Donald Trump. If Nikki Haley does eventually drop out of this race and she endorses Donald Trump, would you be disappointed?
I was surprised and actually a little disappointed that DeSantis so quickly, after going back and forth the way he did with Trump, he immediately endorsed Trump. I think a little period of time could have passed before you just jumped on the Trump train. If Governor Haley ended up endorsing Donald Trump as the nominee, I would understand that. I would probably vote for him again because I think the Democrats would be worse, but I sure hope that Nikki Haley pulls this out.
That's interesting. So you, in the end, if Donald Trump is the nominee, despite the fact that you think he has baggage and you don't like what he says about January 6th and what happened that day, you'd still vote for him if he's the nominee?
That's probably how I would roll. It would be a terrible choice. I am so horrified at what the Biden administration has done to our country. Trump's personal baggage concerns me. A lot of his policies and decisions were good for our country, energy, on and on and on. Would I vote for him over Biden-Harris? Probably, but I sure hope that I have a chance to pull the lever, so to speak, for Nikki Haley.
I keep hearing the energy thing from Republicans. I will say that the U.S. is producing more oil right now than any country in U.S. history. But Mike Moffett, you are very candid. It's great to have your views. And so thank you for joining us, New Hampshire State Representative. Appreciate your time tonight.
Thank you, Kate.